Welcome to the Learning Quest channel. I'm your host Salim Aslam Malik. Learning Quest is an educational channel that provides you quality learning on management and social sciences. It helps you in reinforcing your knowledge by adding to your learning that you gain in your respective university or college. You can get the transcripts or hard copies of the tutorials, including this tutorial, by contacting me on the email address flashed on the screen. The hard copy or transcript will be provided to you free of cost. You are requested to please subscribe to this channel. This is tutorial 10 of the organizational behavior series. In this tutorial, I'll talk to you about leadership. After viewing this tutorial, you will understand what is leadership, trust, the foundation of leadership, leadership characteristics, and leadership theories. What is leadership? Leadership is the ability of an individual or a group of people to influence and guide followers or members of an organization, society, or team. Leadership often is an attribute tied to a person's title, seniority, or ranking in a hierarchy. That is the chain of responsibilities. However, it's an attribute anyone can have or attain, even those without leadership positions or qualities. So, leadership can be developed, its qualities can be learned. It is a developable skill that can be improved over time. Leaders are found and required in most aspects of society, including business, politics, religion, and social and community based organizations. Leaders are seen as people who make sound and sometimes difficult decisions. They articulate a clear vision, establish achievable goals, and provide followers with the knowledge and tools necessary to achieve those goals. The foundation of leadership is trust. Trust is a positive expectation that another person will not, through words or deeds, that is, actions or decisions, act opportunistically or selfishly. Trust is a history dependent process based on relevant but limited samples of experience. That is, you trust a person on the basis of his past attitude and behavior. The dimensions of trust are integrity, that is, honesty and truthfulness; competence, it is an individual's technical and interpersonal knowledge and skills; consistency, an individual's reliability, predictability, and good judgment in handling situations; loyalty, it is the willingness to protect and save face for another person; and openness. Openness is the reliance on the person to give you the full truth. Types of trust. Deterrence based trust. It is the trust based on fear of reprisal, that is, punishment or taking action against the erratic person if the trust is violated. Knowledge based trust. Trust based on behavioral predictability that comes from a history of interaction. Identification based trust. It is the trust based on a mutual understanding of each other's intentions and appreciation of the other's wants and desires. Basic principles of trust are: trust others if you want to be trusted by them. Decline or downsizing in an organization tests the highest levels of trust between the management and the workers. Trust increases the bonds between management and workers. Mistrusting others only harm yourself. Mistrust generally reduces motivation, and decrease in motivation reduces productivity. Leadership characteristics. An effective leader has the following characteristics: self confidence, strong communication and management skills, creative and innovative thinking, perseverance, that is, determination, willingness to take risks, open to change, level headed, that is, he is practical. Reactiveness. Reactiveness means ready response. He is readily responsive in times of crisis. Leadership theories. We will talk about charismatic leadership, transactional leadership, transformational leadership, ethical leadership, and the attribution theory of leadership. Charismatic leadership is where leaders have a vision, are willing to take personal risks to achieve the vision, are sensitive to followers' needs, and exhibit behaviors that are out of the ordinary. Characteristics of charismatic leaders are vision and articulation. A charismatic leader has a vision expressed as an idealized goal that proposes a future better than the status quo and is able to clarify the importance of the vision in terms that are understandable to others. A charismatic leader takes personal risks. They are willing to take on high personal risks, incur high costs, and engage in self sacrifice to achieve the vision. Environmental sensitivity. Charismatic leaders are able to make realistic assessments of the environmental constraints and resources needed to bring about change in the organization. Charismatic leaders are sensitive to followers' needs. They are perceptive of others' abilities and responsive to their needs and feelings. And finally, they have an unconventional behavior. They display unconventional behavior in that they engage in behaviors that are perceived as novel, that is, different from ordinary behaviors, and counter to the norms or established traditions. Beyond charismatic leadership are the level 5 leaders. Such leaders possess a fifth dimension, a paradoxical or contradictory blend of personal humility and professional will, in addition to the four basic leadership qualities of individual capability, team skills, managerial competence, and the ability to stimulate others to high performance. They channel their ego needs away from themselves and into the goal of building a great company or organization. We will now discuss transactional leadership theory. Also known as managerial leadership, it is a leadership style where leaders rely on rewards and punishments to achieve optimal job performance from their subordinates. The transactional executive leadership model is based on an exchange or transaction. Characteristics of transactional leaders. First is contingent reward. Contracts exchange of rewards for effort, promises rewards for good performance, and recognizes accomplishments. Management by exception. The active dimension. Watches and searches for deviations from rules and standards, takes corrective action. Management by exception, the passive dimension, intervenes only if standards are not met. Laissez-faire. Such type of transactional leader abdicates responsibilities, that is, surrenders responsibilities and avoids making decisions. Transformational leadership. It is a management philosophy that encourages and inspires employees to innovate and develop new ways to grow and improve the path to a company's future success. Using this method, executives give trusted employees the independence to make decisions and support new problem solving approaches and techniques. Characteristics of transformational leadership are idealized influence, provides vision and sense of mission, instills pride, that is, generates pride, gains respect and trust. Inspiration. Transformational leadership communicates high expectations, uses symbols to focus efforts, expresses important purposes in simple ways. Intellectual stimulation. It means that the leader promotes intelligence, rationality, and careful problem solving. Individualized consideration gives personal attention, treats each employee individually, coaches, and advises. Attribution theory of leadership. Attribution theory of leadership is based on the idea that leadership is merely an attribution that people make about other individuals. Qualities attributed to leaders are: leaders are intelligent, outgoing, have strong verbal skills, are aggressive, understanding, and industrious. Effective leaders are perceived as consistent and unwavering in their decisions. Effective leaders project the appearance of being a leader. Authentic leaders and ethical leadership. Authentic leaders know who they are, what they believe in and value, and act on those values openly and candidly. Followers see them as ethical, and ethical leaders use ethical means to get followers to achieve their goals, and the goals themselves are ethical. The actions taken by ethical leadership are: such leaders work to positively change the attitudes and behaviors of employees, engage in socially constructive behaviors, and do not abuse power or use improper means to attain goals. Team leaders. What could be their roles? Team leaders act as liaisons with external constituencies, that is, with other organizations or setups, serve as troubleshooters, manage conflict, and coach to improve team member performance. What is mentoring? Mentor is a senior employee who sponsors and supports a less experienced employee, who is known as a protege. Mentoring activities include: present ideas clearly, listen well, empathize, that is, sympathize, share experiences, act as role model, share contacts, and provide political guidance. Then there is the concept of self leadership or self made leadership. Self leadership traits are: such leader is a model for others, encourages employees to create self set goals, encourages the use of self rewards, creates positive thought patterns, and creates a climate of self leadership, encourages self criticism. E leadership or online leadership, that is, leadership at a distance by building trust. Such leadership has its own weaknesses and strengths. The lack of face to face contact in electronic communications is both an advantage as well as disadvantage. It removes the non-verbal cues such as body language and expressions, facial expressions, etc., that support verbal interactions. There is no supporting context to assist the receiver with interpretation of an electronic communication. The structure and tone of electronic messages can strongly affect the response of receivers. An individual's verbal and written communications may not follow the same style. Writing skills will likely become an extension of interpersonal skills. Selection and training of leaders. Selection. Review specific requirements for the job. We will discuss it in detail in the job analysis session during the Human Resource Management series. Use tests that identify personal traits associated with leadership, measure self-monitoring, and assess emotional intelligence. Conduct personal interviews to determine candidates fit with the job. Training. Recognize that all people are not equally trainable. Teach skills that are necessary for employees to become effective leaders. Provide behavioral training to increase the development potential of upcoming charismatic employees. That was all about leadership in context of organizational behavior. That is how leadership impacts organizational behavior. In the organizational behavior tutorial 11, that is the next tutorial, I'll talk to you about conflict management in organizations. Till then, bye bye.